batten down the hatches. Now time for the great debate, all right? This one has everyone asking, what color is this dress?
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
What the flip did I do to you?
Miley, what's good?
Got him!
2 shots of vodka.
Stop fucking lying.
Serial killer.
I never went to Ovo Jabber.
An idiot sandwich.
I thought you were American.
Wow. A child. Okay.
On the banana.
How good can it be?
Now watch me, nana.
I cannot believe this stuff is on the radio.
Run.
On February 11th, Chris reminded her fans that her birthday was fast approaching and asked for generous individuals to gift her the Destiny PlayStation 4 bundle, a PS4 camera, and a terabyte hard drive, promising a $500 voucher for her Sonitude products to the first person that fulfilled her request. After some pushback, Chris clarified her request. I never said everyone send me a console. One person to send the one console and camera is all. I am not the US Air Force that needed over 100,000 PlayStations for their supercomputer. And I never requested for more than one. One PlayStation 4 with PS4 camera is all I requested and is all I need. I do not like being left behind in tech, like the rest of you all. Also, who in this world, with a modern touchscreen phone at least, never felt even tempted to spend on apps in their respective mobile stores? And PC and console gamers, who amongst you lot have not spent less than $100 on your new computer upgrades, software and apps, even into the thousands? And you all who have spent at least $1 on your app and game stores, you all are no more guilty than I am. I do not judge any of you all for spending on what you want. We each have our own wants and needs respectively. So, when you look at my generous offer, empathize and put yourself into my situation. Not rich, want to get back into the game, require the new hardware when support for the old is fading over time. What can you do? You look to trade for or up to the new tech, reaching out towards other people for help, and that is what I am doing and offering. On February 16th, Chris posted an update video.
So yeah, at this time we're doing a few updates, of which, among which to definitely make the gift of the PlayStation 4 console and the camera to make more appealing. I'm still offering the $500 voucher, which I could definitely and personally guarantee delivery as such. And along with that, we take a look at my history. I have been able to fulfill most every order within the amount of time, very much since I started on eBay and more recently opened a shop on Etsy.
Chris also weighs in on American politics, where Hillary Clinton was the leading candidate in the Democratic presidential primaries.
We can talk politics a little bit. I mean, I sincerely pray and hope that Hillary Clinton will still be in the running for president on the upcoming elections, because I definitely would vote for Sarah Palin back in 8 years ago, 2008, had she still been running. But now I end up having to choose between McCain and Obama, and I watched both the documentaries. I ended up with Obama because I felt he was relatable, the sense of his suffering and everything. I could feel for that as well. But I feel like America needs a woman's touch finally after all these years. So, Hillary Clinton, stay in the polls. We want you for president. I want you for president. Because if you're not running, then I'd have to vote for the other males.
On February 25th, the day after Christine's birthday, she spoke about her disappointment with the gift she received.
Alright, so yeah, yesterday was my 34th birthday. I have received another piece of mail. This one had a scratched off lottery ticket that was clearly not a winner. Alright. And I certainly did not receive a PlayStation 4 console because I need to catch back up in the technology and everything. Although last night I had already had purchased it on clearance a copy of South Park: Stick of Truth. It's pretty good. You know, the only downside that I really did not like was actually two things. Could not be a girl, so I had to make the boy look like a girl. So that's one way of promoting being a trans woman. You dress up the new kid as a girl, and that works out. And then also, second part, I really do not care for Carmen's attitude as well, and it's not funny at all. I enter my name as the character name, and he calls me douchebag. Seriously, Carmen, I'm the player. I'm gonna make progress in this game, so don't you dare call me a douchebag. I'm stuck in a moody mode, so oh well. Right, so thanks for the mouth, and then thanks for nothing.
On March 6th, Chris announced on Facebook that someone had finally bought her a PlayStation 4. She uploaded her first video, recorded using her new PS4 camera.
This is Christine Chandler, my first ever broadcast, and recording through my new PlayStation 4. Given to me graciously from Cagney Lynn Moore of Seattle, Washington. She was very generous. It was the typical black version, yes, but she gave me a blue controller also, so that's a big plus. And I had already bought the camera, so that's okay. Anyway, so I'm very grateful. Is there a camera lag? No, seems okay. So, thank you again, Cagney. Y'all have a good, safe day. How do I get this thing to stop? Oh. Don't want it on there. I'm done with this. Okay, now I'm starting to get a little ticked here. How do you get this thing to stop?
Kim Wilson responded to the Facebook post with evidence that Chris had not received the PS4 as a gift, but instead had bought the console herself. The name Cagney Lynn Moore was likely a combination of the names of two porn stars, Cagney Lynn Carter and Kevin Moore, who had appeared in multiple films together, many that Chris personally owned. Chris has never addressed the allegation.
Clear the nipple.
Chris's PS4 camera became her primary method of recording videos.
D-cups, lady cups, enjoy them.
She would often struggle with the technology.
You know, it has a little headphone thing that goes into the jack on the controller.
Around this time, Chris's mother was sued by Discover Bank over unpaid debts. On March 16th, she attended a hearing and was ordered to pay the amount owed, $4,706.93. 3 days later, Chris bought a Lego set for $425. On April 12th, she broadcast a live stream, requesting donations from her followers. Countless toys and collectibles can be seen in the background.
I'm just single person trying to help provide for this family, and I can only do so much and get money in and whatnot, so your donations are a real great help. So please, donate as much as you can, even if it's a little $1 per person. Every little bit helps. And if you can donate big, that would be really greatly appreciated. very much. All for the peace of mind, so I can get back into drawing and have more, and be able to be feeling so much better about life and everything. In addition to me feeling better about myself, even though I am, and I'm having a more positive outlook on life. And I'm not reading any of those comments either, so you may as well stop right there. Thank you. Y'all have a good, safe day. Oh, wrong button.
And again on the 24th.
I'm kind of feeling frazzled right now. Just my brain, but anyway. Yeah, we need some more money. Seriously, donations, please. I mean, yeah, call it part of the donation drive, if you will, but push comes to shove. Something definitely came up recently beyond my control, and I just need I just need a few donations. Please, please help. Send me a donation, like, maybe 10, 20 bucks. Please.
On May 23rd, Chris went live to beg for more donations. She also showed off the body pillow she recently purchased.
This is my waifu. Her name is Naru. We've been together for a few weeks now. Nothing wrong with that. We're still getting to know each other pretty much, and it's all in my head, really. Hey, y'all are welcome to share your waifus anytime. Anyway, second half of the month. We need some more donations around here to help out. Get some more food around here. My mom loves to eat bananas. Quite serious about that. And we could do better on food as well. Otherwise we end up just we're not getting everything we need nutritionally, so please donate. Help us once again. Thank you.
Near the end of May, Chris spent around $250 on a set of Transformers action figures. Chris's spending habits were discussed on the Kiwi farms, and after growing backlash, she attempted to explain herself. Firstly, I want to clarify something, since some people behind their mother's basements sought and leaked amongst their Kiwi grapevines, prevaricatively, unexpected last month. One of my credit account limits was raised, and I used half of it to catch up on the Combiner set collection catch-up. Bruticus, plus lovely female Autobots, Arcee, Chromium, and Wingblade. And I gave the other half to my mother to help with bills here. But seriously, the credit increase was a bonus that went quick, and my mum impulsively spending more on the bills than minimum payment as usual. We are financially down early this month. What that means to me, more emotional wear in my subconscious, it slows me down more compared to early in the months. So, I am more than serious on asking in my recent video for donations. Due to Chris's financial troubles, she was having difficulty fulfilling orders on her Etsy shop. On June 8th, her online store was replaced with an error message. Chris claimed that she was on vacation and would return eventually. In reality, she was likely banned after numerous reports against her account. On June 14th, Chris uploaded another video.
Anyway, my mom here is in need of medications for her lungs and whatnot. Alright? Yeah. At least say something, let them know you are alive. Well, anyway, it's a $100 medication, and she might not be able to make it through the rest of this month, of which we get more money afterwards if you don't donate. So please send your donations that could get to me most direct to my email address through PayPal. Please do it very soon. Help us out here, please.
Many were concerned with Barb's apparent distress, and one viewer contacted the Ruckersville Police Department and requested a wellness check. Barbara spoke to the dispatched officer and was reportedly in good health. Early in 2016, Chris befriended a troll pretending to be a lesbian couple named Sam and Ellen, introduced to Chris by the lady managers. They were hoping to have a child, and Chris agreed to provide her sperm for artificial insemination. She sent them a video showing off her collection of samples.
Yeah, here's the sample I put out today. I labeled it carefully. You can tell it's not as frozen yet compared to the older samples. Yeah. That was like less than a year ago. But anyway, that's all very good and everything, so hopefully y'all will still consider me for your donor. Thank you and have a good day.
In May, Sam and Ellen started to consider the possibility of natural insemination, much to Chris's excitement. But their plans were put on hold when a man named Johan informed them of Chris's notoriety. A challenge was proposed. Johan and Chris would each produce a video showing off their sexual prowess. The winner would impregnate the lesbians.
Alright, so let me see. What y'all want to see? What y'all want to see? Oh yeah, the power driver, along which probably, yeah, that's what the arms look like for this demonstration. This being. I hope I've impressed y'all quite a bit with that, and I look forward to your reply. It still dispenses. Thing's still like 5 to 7 inches longerette, so Sam and Ellen, please have my babies. Have our babies. Have our little girls. Thank you, good day.
Sam and Ellen decided to go with Johan. The lady managers stopped interacting with Chris after this point. Little is known about their methods or the extent of their trolling. As the Chandlers became more desperate, Chris tried to prostitute herself out for some extra cash.
Hello, ladies. How'd you like to spend a little quality time with this sexy bod, huh? These sexy breasts. And the thing that I was wrongfully born with down there. Ooh. Good quality time. Can have it one way, or we can play it the lesbian way. So, for $50, we can do a cuddle, or $100, we can do pretty much near anything. I don't do anal though. I don't do anal. But we'll do anything else. We can even romp with toys. And I have lots of hidden potential. So send an email. Give me a response. Tell me you want a little lovely, sexy evening with Miss Stephanie Buscakes. Advice to the email only. Nobody with STDs, and only women of any orientation need apply. No, straight, lesbian, and bi.
By the summer of 2016, the most significant source of Chris's stress was her inability to properly handle money.
Finances. Mortgage payments. We really could use some more money around here, because as quickly as it comes in, it goes out. Because we gotta pay bills and we gotta get food around here. We gotta keep ourselves fed and everything. Please help us. We don't want to lose our electricity or go hungry. Please, donate now. Always with the finances here, the mortgage, the bills, everything. I know you don't want to hear this shit because y'all have these problems yourselves in your own way. But you know what? I'm in over my head. Stress, anxiety. Yep. Please donate. We need the money right now. Please help us. I really do want to deliver new Sachi and Roastu content, but it's hard for me to get back to the pages and drawing with all this stress in my life. Donations really needed. Please help. It's all got to go out to the food, the bills, everything, and it's driving me crazy. Help keep me and my mother fed. 74 years old she is. 2 dogs, 2 cats. Got family of kittens in the backyard. And I'm still looking for my sweetheart. You think I'm famous enough to actually able to Gay women, I have not been so fortunate. And yes, I've only had sex 2 times, ever, in my lifetime, so I'm not a virgin. And they were both in the same month, and that was more than 4 years ago. You think your life sucks because you're dwelling in your mother's basement, you darn dirty internet trolls and cyber bullies. Think of how it is in my head. We need help.
My name is Barbara Chandler. I presently am in need of financial help to get dental work done. That's expensive. I'm asking for donations towards my dental repairs. Any amount would be helpful. The expense is large. Thank you for your consideration.
Around this time, Chris began watching subliminal frequency hypnosis videos on YouTube, which she believed would encourage her transition and improve her health in other ways.
I've actually been on a subliminal project, as a lot of you, or some of you, may have been aware of through my history or whatever that I try to keep private amongst my YouTube settings. But I have been enjoying for the past 3 months the Get Rid of Autism subliminal. I have been doing that, and I've actually found myself more mentally capable. I do not blank out as much. I feel a little bit faster in mental processing, and I feel a whole lot better. So with that, I'm essentially cured of autism. And those of y'all with autism, try it for yourself. Play 3 times per day for 3 months. It worked for me.
In early July, Chris posted on Reddit, on the subreddit r/PlanetDolan. Hey boys, get ready to have your minds blown. As Planet Dolan has said, everyone is female inside the womb until if and when the Y chromosome mutates the girl to be a boy. Which, when you really think about it, with everyone being female initially, even pre-birth, being manly or manliness is very much made up. Anyhow, and you can try this at home in private, push, maybe tough, into the center of the skin patch between your legs, the taint. You may find 1 or 2 grooves hidden under there. One of them, yes, is your unbirthable vagina, since the uterus would be shrunk during the Y mutation. Punchline, if every gay male knew about this, all they'd have to do is cut their taints, and they'd have a new hole to play with. Seriously though, maybe professional surgery would be best for that business opening. Or, for the price of Wi-Fi and your YouTube viewing device, you could try opening it in as soon as 6 months, less if listened to more often, with a subliminal track. By mid-July, after months of watching subliminal frequency hypnosis videos to aid in her transition, Christine believed that a real vagina was hidden underneath a thin layer of her skin. On the evening of July 23rd, she cut a deep gash into her taint using a knife. The following day, Chris made an announcement on Facebook. As a number of online people may be aware, I have been grooving with the subliminal frequencies and binaural beats towards my transition from male to female body. Last March, I started simple, with growing my breasts out with their breast growth hormone track. It worked to my amazement, at a full inch outward per week in about 2 months. I've also listened to change my nipples to teats, as well as begin producing breast milk. Also, related from a separate track on another channel, I have eased and cured the worst of my autism too. But, since last May, I decided to take it a step further and begin my transition from male to female, with the penis to vagina tracks, including the individual organ changing tracks, and, for a while, the intersex track. And 2 Fridays ago, July 15, while I slept that night, my labia started splitting open and I found the initial hole and blood the next morning. And over the few days that followed, the labia opened to its full length and I've been dealing with the blood that came out, and I have been keeping it clean, daily monitoring it and treating it with rubbing alcohol. I have started the wheels in motion for the full HRT and SRS by seeing my doctor last Friday, because I felt like I didn't want to wait much longer to fully become the woman that I should have been born as. As for my own statement to quote, I will state the following: have belief and faith in what your body can do, and with such binaural beats and frequencies, as well as persistence and patience, what you'd like can happen for you. And if you'd like to offer your support in my transition as well, I accept financial donations via PayPal to my email. Chris shared photographs of her self-inflicted wound, and many of her Facebook friends were incredibly worried. Chris assured her followers that the area was not infected. After more criticism, Chris attempted to convince her fans that the photos were fake and that the entire ordeal was an elaborate hoax. Both friends and trolls alike pressured Chris into seeking out medical treatment. Chris was too embarrassed to tell the doctors what she'd done and simply told them that her testicles hurt, so she was prescribed Tylenol and sent home. After even more pestering, Chris went back to the ER and received proper treatment. On August 10th, Chris linked an article on Facebook about a mother and son who were arrested and charged with incest. Firstly, the child was over 18, and surely the mother has talked it out with him beforehand. The child might have had social problems, or a situation where socializing or going out to socialize with other people was a greater difficulty. Financial situation to prevent paying someone else to come over and help out in the situation. Moreover, it was the lifelong affection between parent and child. Also, the mother probably could not bear any ovum for children anymore. Anyhow, who among everyone in this world has not had a dream of having sex with one of their parents? Never acting on them ever. I, myself, did have dreams of having sex with my mother. Kim Wilson warned Chris that incest was immoral and had the potential to cause mental and emotional damage. Chris assured her that he had not and would never have sex with a family member. During August, Barbara was sued by another bank over unpaid debt and was ordered to pay nearly $16,000. Chris continued to buy Pokemon cards and video games every few weeks. On August 31st, Chris told her Facebook friends that she was feeling sad and asked if anyone would be willing to pay the Chandlers' $115,000 mortgage. In September, Christine announced that she had adopted a third cat, which she named Sorbet. At some point, Sorbet wounded his paw, so Chris asked for donations to help cover the necessary bills for his operation. On September 27th, Chris posted an update video.
And I just want to state for the record of note, my mom and I, we've been faring a little better financially, so that's why I have not been uploading videos of requesting more money. So don't think that I've been spending it all on frivolities. They have been going towards food, and definitely, as I've cited in one of my recent Facebook posts, to help the little kitten who has the hurt foot, Sorbet. And now, we'll stop Donald Trump's head. Vote Hillary! Vote Hillary, because she is the more smart, more intelligent choice. And definitely more mature than Trumpy Galvatron. Trump, Mert. The P is silent when you say his name backwards. Mert would hurt.
Throughout September, Chris made frequent social media posts about her distaste for presidential candidate Donald Trump. She found him to be immature and disliked his habit of mocking others. She wasn't a fan of Trump's plan to build a wall on the Mexican border and accused him of being anti-LGBTQ. Chris was also concerned because of an episode of The Simpsons where Trump became president in an alternate reality and caused major economic problems for the United States. On September 27th, Chris offered her take on the first presidential debate. I have watched and listened to Hillary and Trump. I still am full agreement with her. She remained on topic with the questions and remained cool-headed, whereas Mert was as hot-headed as ever, and he wandered off topic. As for the topics, I feel Hillary stands better on the plan for finances, as well as taxing the more wealthy. She she also has good and valid ideals for the races and cybersecurity. Mert was a one-track tape, repeating himself on pat deeds that he was proud of. That is not good. Neither was his ideals of cutting finances from all the more important resources the country needs in communities and feeding the industries from the national debt. And he acted against the immigrants on that topic as well. They have to work too, you know. I remain at an honor and privilege to #vote Hillary in November. Meanwhile, the Chandlers were still struggling financially.
In case you can't hear me, I am sick with a cold in my throat, and I am currently unable to talk above a whisper. Alright? It's quite difficult on me. I've been enjoying some chicken noodle soup. We're running low on chicken soup too. But we're also low on money. So donations would be greatly appreciated. You know how to do it through PayPal to my email address. So yeah, please help. Need a little more money for this week or two. Alright, thank you. Have a good day.
The US presidential election took place on November 8th. Chris and her mother both voted for Hillary Clinton. The following day, Donald Trump was declared the winner and became the president-elect. 1 hour later, Chris posted to both Facebook and Twitter. Someone, anyone, please take a sniper rifle and Trump. Him in the head like the impulsive, non-thinking, uncaring zombie that he is. This tweet was featured in an article on the InfoWars website run by the conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. David Duke, former Grand Wizard of the KKK, shared the article on his social media. Other YouTubers took notice as well, including Keemstar, host of Drama Alert, who alerted the US Secret Service. Chris wasn't fazed.
You're a mean one, Mr. Trump. Now go. Again. Trump has been elected, but there's a chance that he will not make it into office because of his age, at the very least. Hey, males die before women. Give me a break. So, everybody, we must pray for Trump's to happen before January 2017. And then afterwards, but he's been encased, we can have a tombstone, a mock tombstone, and we can pretend that we can have fun dancing on his grave.
Chris was suspended from Facebook for 1 week for making death threats. On December 19th, the Electoral College confirmed Donald Trump's presidency. 10 days later, Chris posted to Facebook, "Advocate the office, Trump," or "Trump." Hey, #Donald Trump. I have a puzzler for you. In the alternate reality dimension universe where A, every person there is the opposite born gender from here. In an example, the Donald Trump there is a woman, and every president of the United States of America there has been female. And B, the LGBTQ is the norm, and the discrimination happens against the straight people. Would you, the Donald Trump of this reality dimension universe, allow the Donald Trump-ette in that opposite reality dimension universe sign the anti-straight law that would allow discrimination of yourself, ever? If your answer is no, then it should be fit that you not discriminate against us, the LGBTQ, as the people there discriminate against the straight. Yet, if your answer remains yes, then you, sir, would end up being a self-loathing person, as you allowed the continuing discrimination of yourself in that reality dimension universe that is the very same planet, and the very same United States of America that you, yourself, regardless, dare to reside and take office in. #Donald Trump. Advocate the office and let Hillary Clinton run this country, for the love of religion, and for any shred of self-love you have for yourself. Or from yours or someone else's hands. Good day.
People of YouTube and around the world, the bad news has come in. The unnamed elect has been sworn in along with his cohort, who is filling the vice presidential condition. And as far as I am concerned, I hereby state that as long as Pence and Trump are in the White House whatsoever on this note, I do not validate, I do not entertain, and I do not acknowledge either of them at all as president and vice president. We have lewd Decepticon perpetrators in the seats. And as I do not acknowledge either of them in the White House, I hereby decree this country has no president. This is indeed a very sad day for this country.
On February 10th, Christine attended the Love is Love event at the University of Virginia. On the way home, she went to see the Lego Batman movie. She also bought the Batman DLC for the Lego Dimensions video game. On March 1st, Chris put her father's stamp collection up for sale, hoping to raise more funds. By the 19th, she had made $85 in sales and spent $90 on Lego and Transformers merchandise. On April 4th, Chris posted to Facebook that she really did not like Ceteris Mortgage after they allegedly overcharged Barb, leaving her bank account over $800 in debt. Some of Chris's Facebook friends asked why she didn't try and find a job. The point is that I'm prone to anxiety and shock. I have a lot of fears, including that which I have stated in this post. The result is my brain becomes mid-difficult paralyzed, or even numb with greater consistent amounts of shock moments in my life. What if someone gets to me deep while at work? Then I am left unable to function for a while, even hours. Fired. What if the stress is super great that I end up making the whole building floor go silent after an impulsive and loud shout? Fired, and maybe even banned for life. You have not been where and when I was employed, and around people. I was the epicenter. And nobody wants to hire an anxiety-prone lesbian trans woman whose Google search shows a sex doll humping GIF and my bare behind sitting on an $11 cake, among which, because I was easily duped and blackmailed by a number of cyberbullies and internet trolls pretending to be sincere and honest from my heart women on every dating website on the freaking internet. Oh my gosh. On April 7th, Chris sold her Sonic Totem, which she created in middle school out of paper mache. She listed the item on eBay for $1,500, and amazingly, it sold within 4 hours. Less than an hour later, Chris bought a $400 gold necklace for her mother. Over the next 3 days, she spent over $750 on Skylander products. On April 14th, Barb was featured in another short video. She is seen wearing the necklace Chris recently purchased.
Action.
My name is Barbara Chandler. We are in an emergency situation. Rappahannock is getting ready to cut our service. That will stop us from doing anything, cooking, whatever. Please, somebody, buy the stamp album for $1,000 to help us with our emergency. Thank you.
Later that day, Chris promoted her eBay store in a live stream.
Anyway, please buy the stamp album. $1,000. You get the album with all the stamps in there. $10 UN covers and bonus stamps in little envelopes. You're starting to... They're getting on my nerves, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Stay with me. Alright? Stay with me so I know you're not messing around. Yeah, you're sorbet. You know, boy. You know, you're sorbet. Alright, now it's a cat video. Now this is officially a cat video, cause here's little boy. Here's my little boy. Wait. Wait. You know, sweet boy. Yes, we love you. Alright. Anyway, what was I talking about? Right, to sell that, and I still have a few pieces of science shoe artwork that I did back in 2014 that I tried to sell on eBay, didn't sell. I still have them. I'll put them back on there. $500 a piece, no negotiations. Try to get more money in this house because I'm doing all I can around here. Financial messes and everything. Gah. We need. Hello. We're live on the internet. What do you want? Hey, Mom. Hello.
We need a bag of cat food.
Try cat food. Okay, I'll go out later and get some out of the little money we have left.
Use my new account.
Yes, dear. I'll come up and get that later. Sorbet, what are you doing? Come on. Okay, anything else?
Now, what are you doing?
Well, I'm doing the first official Captain Log video. I'm live streaming it. I'm live streaming it instead of pre-recording. So, yeah, we're live on the internet. Smile for the PlayStation 4 camera. And then remind them that we can use a lot more money in this house.
Okay.
I've been venting about that. Anyway, all right. Well, I'll go out later and get some more dry cat food. All right. So that's all that, and this is Raw Stuff live from Ruckersville, Virginia. It's Friday evening.
On April 19th, Christine listed 6 old Sonichu drawings on eBay, priced at $500 each, or $2,000 for all 6. She expressed urgency, as she was $1,450 in debt to PayPal after failing to deliver the Sonic Totem she had sold 12 days prior. Over the next few days, she bought 6 new PS4 games. On May 18th, Sorbet, the Chandler's newest cat, didn't return home overnight. He was found the next day by a neighbor, hiding in a gutter under their driveway. They noticed head trauma, uneven pupil dilation, and bleeding. A vet concluded that he had likely been hit by a car.
Hey, Sorbet. You breathing okay? No. Sound like you're going to do mad. Maybe.
Though Sorbet survived, he never fully recovered. His breathing issues persisted, and his eye remained cloudy and dilated for the rest of his life. On May 24th, Chris uploaded a short update video.
Just pretty much, this video is their plea for money because we're really broke and my mother needs more of her meal replacement shakes right now. It's not got enough to last throughout the rest of the month. Please donate to the link below. No less than $1. No change. We want dollar amounts. Please, please, please. We need the money for more food. Another week and a half to go. Oh my God. And Sorbet. And the vet bill was $160. Anyway, please help us.
In response, Chris received multiple 1-cent donations, which prompted a second video.
I said nothing under $1 in donations. No donations less than $1. We need the money. Tell him, Mom.
We need the money.
And what do we need it for?
For food.
And you've been needing a lot of... I told them that I reminded them that you need a lot of the shakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell them no donations less than $1.
No donations less than $1.
USA.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
On June 16th, Chris directed her mother in another video.
We are in need of donations for food. Please consider us thank you.
Around this time, Chris attended the UVA Remembers Pulse event, which was held by University of Virginia students as a tribute to the victims of the 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting. Chris wore her Sonichu medallion and carried an SLGBTQ Sonichu drawing. She had an S so that straight people would be included. The event was covered by the local NBC News.
Do not hate. Hate is not so good. And to be paranoid is a bust. Feel the love that comes from us, and try to feel love that you can offer, at least from within yourselves, for yourselves.
Chris read a short poem during the open mic, later posting it online. I feel for you all, my friends, family, and allies in this lifetime of ours. Lost and confused. Is this point in our lives where we are meant to be? Where do we belong in our local communities? With minds gone blank like a fully erased paper. We are left with the remnants of what we had thought of before, impulsively lost in time. I too was there during the times you were bullied, broken, and beat up bad. And times we've sought for new friendships to later, maybe, find truest love from one within. And yet, our efforts were mistaken for something sordid. The love, or lack thereof, from those who raised and taught you as you all grew up. Left with time for ourselves, we've searched within our own personal depths. Soon enough, we not only have found ourselves, but we three, child, teen, and adult, combined, worked out our ideas, taking our time. We continued onward in our life, from how we were born towards who we are meant to be in this whole lifetime. I will continue onward the stronger soul, woman that we are, for being boy was a lingering downfall. Someday, I will find our destined sweetheart and truest love, while feeling the love within. From child, from teen, from me.
We've been waiting for you all summer, and we're so glad you're finally here.
I'm gay.
Oh, the Joker, baby.
I'm Ethan Bradbury.
I'm autistic.
Free Shavakadu.
I sure hope it does.
Vape Nation.
Damn, Daniel.
Sudden.
Harambe was shot and killed.
Raindrop. Drop top.
I'm Rick Harrison, and this is my pawn shop.
Bodie McBoatface.
Mommy shark doo 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 doo. This is Pepe the Frog.
A basket of deplorables.
Environmentally friendly.
Pokemon go to the polls.
Your damn email.
Because you'd be in jail.
Please clap.
Why are you running?
Humongous.
You've got a big storm coming.
Catch me outside, how about that? I love you, and I miss you.
In late 2016, Chris announced her new Patreon account. She set her goal at $250,000, hoping to pay off the mortgage and all debts while having enough left over for future savings. Around this time, Chris started watching the popular YouTube channel Planet Dolan. She was particularly interested in animator and voice actress Doopy Doover. On March 7th, 2017, Doopy tweeted that her borderline personality disorder made it difficult to understand other people. Chris replied, saying that she empathized with her struggles after years of torment by online trolls. A few days later, Doopy Doover jokingly tweeted, "How do I stop pooping?" Chris responded genuinely, "I'd rather just let it fall out. Pent-up poop does a body bad. Plus, it is a relief to the belly afterwards." On the 23rd, Doopy expressed boredom with adulthood, wondering why nobody was willing to spend time with her at 1 a.m. Chris agreed, complaining about the stress that came with being an adult. In April, Doopy started interacting with Chris on Twitter. When other users criticized Chris for her past actions, Doopy stood up for her. "Honestly, CWC has been nothing but nice to me, and I can't make fun anymore." Chris responded, "Thank you for defending me, Doopy. I feel blessed for your recognition of my kindness. Lots of love to you." On June 2nd, Doopy Doover shared a video from the Planet Dolan YouTube channel, and Chris left a reply saying that she looked cute. On July 8th, Chris thanked Doopy for live streaming her artwork on Twitch, calling her Doopy Darling. On the 11th, after Doopy received criticism for drawing images of 16-year-old virtual idol Hatsune Miku, Chris came to her defense. Doopy Doover is a darling, sweet soul, and a great artist. Lots of love for Doopy, every day. In early May, Chris found a sudden burst of artistic inspiration and resumed work on Sonichu 11. It had been 561 days since Chris had last drawn the comic. On June 30th, after nearly 8 years, Chris finally completed Sonichu 11. The comic begins with a special Christmas episode, taking place on December 12, 2008. In the Sonichu household, Christine Rosie is preparing for the Christmas play. The next day, Sarah visits her friend Kevin, who teaches her how to play Call of Duty. When she accidentally kills Kevin's in-game character, he becomes distraught and runs out of the room in terror. 2 days later, Sonichu and Robbie go Christmas shopping and come across a homeless woman. Robbie finds the thought of homelessness to be deeply distressing. They call a taxi so that the homeless woman can stay at a soup hotel. Blake and Bubbles are approached by a Jamaican homeless person who wishes them a happy Kwanzaa. Blake becomes enraged that someone would mistake him for an African American, and Bubbles calms him down. Meanwhile, Maggie-chan and Sylvana fall in love and agree to become mates. Later, Christine performs in the Christmas play. Suddenly she feels herself beginning to evolve and runs off the stage as her clothing is ripped apart. Sonichu rushes home to pick up replacement clothing while Rosechu comforts her daughter. After the show, Kevin breaks up with Sarah over her disloyalty, misconduct, and aggressive actions shown during the Call of Duty game. She breaks down in tears. On Christmas Day, the Hedgehogs open presents. They suddenly notice that they haven't seen their master and creator this entire time. Rosechu explains that Chris came out as a trans woman and was still recovering from the shock. The Hedgehogs are surprised by this revelation. Rosechu asks everyone to refer to Christine using female pronouns and not to ask any personal questions. The group decides to visit Chris at her home to cheer her up. Blake compliments Christine on her rack. The episode ends with Chris and her parents mingling with various Sonichu and Rosechu characters. In episode 23, we see a retcon flashback sequence. Simonla survives the Voltorb terrorist attack, and instead of being executed, the Asperpedia 4 are exiled into an Amish community. In the present day, Simonla invites Simonchu into her home after forgiving him. When he arrives, Simonchu explains how he was captured by Evan Christopher George, locked in a cage and abused. Chris then interjects, telling the readers that the rest of the story will loosely follow an outline provided by a Facebook friend. Sandy and Simonchu bring a fossil to the Quickville Museum to have it analysed. They revive the ancient Pokemon to discover a new species called Bananasaur. Punchy happens to be nearby and telepathically speaks with Bananasaur, who names himself David. He feeds his newest friend a strawberry-flavoured Pocky, and it evolves into a Bananasaurus. Punchy takes David home, but his sweetheart Layla is unhappy that he adopted a pet without informing her, and threatens to leave him if David becomes too much to handle. A few days later, Punchy takes David to the daycare to mate with a Ditto, and an hour later, the Ditto lays 2 eggs. David finds this experience traumatizing. When they arrive home, Layla is standing in the doorway with a packed suitcase. She explains that she has unfriended Punchy on Facebook, and that she's moving back in with her trainer due to Punchy's recklessness. As she leaves, she punches David in the face, calling him bruised, mouldy, and not fruitful. Chris interjects again to apologise, telling her readers that the time was short, so she would summarise the rest of the comic. Layla meets her old friend Reginald, and they sleep together. Punchy is saddened by the breakup. Episode 24 begins at the Quickville shopping centre, where Sonichu and Rosechu bump into Sonic. While Rosechu gossips with Amy, Sonichu and Sonic catch up with each other. They reminisce about recent events. Robbie, Sarah, and other friends are having a tea and biscuit party at Ann Weston Elementary School. They're bothered by a bully, who kisses another boy to get the attention of a nearby Jerkop. Sarah defeats the Jerkop with a Thunder Punch, causing her to evolve. We return to the present, where Sonichu explains that Robbie has changed her name to Roberta, and now identifies as a trans woman. During this explanation, Chris happens to walk by and overhears their conversation. To prove that she is the same person that invented Sonichu, she transforms into her Sonichu form. This cues another flashback. After Chris's battle with Mary Lee Walsh, he recalls feeling more feminine during high school, and suddenly yells, "I am a woman, roar!" He transforms into a female hedgehog and admires her new body in the mirror. After the transformation is complete, the Sonichu crystals shatter into 1,000,000 pieces. In the present day, we learn that Magi-chan has been gathering all of the Sonichu crystal fragments, calling them Sonichite and Rosechite. They are similar to Megastones from the Pokemon franchise in that they allow Sonichu to temporarily evolve into an upgraded version of themselves. Chris included a photo of her medallion and explained that the Sonichite merged with it on contact using Cherokee magic. Chris gets a call from her father and leaves to pick up TV dinners from Walmart. Sonichu and Sonic move their conversation to the food court, and the story ends here for now, to be continued in Sonichu issue 12. On July 12th, a Twitter user cautioned Doopy Doover that Chris's kindness was merely a facade and warned her to be careful about befriending her. Doopy responded, "I've been following the Chris-chan saga since the beginning. I know everything that she's done. And yeah, it's pretty shitty. But what other people have done to him, her, has been pretty shitty too. I'm also just not the type of person to turn someone away when they're being nothing but kind to me. It may be fake, it may be a show, but I'm not emotionally invested in this enough to really care. I just don't really appreciate people being little shits on my Twitter. It's annoying. That's pretty much as deep as it gets." Doopy then revealed that Chris had signed up for her Patreon, paying $50 each month. She paid me to do a commission and is a patron on my Patreon. And as a woman of business, I'm going to treat him, her, as every other commissioner and patron. I wish people would mind their business, but it seems that people are so invested in Chris-chan that they have to take multiple Twitter accounts to harass me. I appreciate the people on Kiwi, since most people there tend to just keep the conversation there. I do, however, like I said, appreciate you coming to me with concern, rather than just being an arsehole wanting attention. Thank you, but I'm a big girl. On July 18th, Doopy provided an update concerning her artwork on Twitter and thanked her fans for their patience. Chris responded, "It's alright, darling. It is always comforting to know about the people who like and appreciate you and your talents." The following day, Chris received her commissioned artwork, created by Doopy Doover for $25. Chris was pleased with the result, setting it as her profile picture on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. On the 27th, Chris asked Doopy for a drawing of her favourite Sonichu character. When Doopy requested references, she received 3 emails, including an extensive list of every major Sonichu character, along with their physical description. Christine also provided corresponding images of each character. Chris continued to email Doopy Doover over the next few days. On July 29th, Chris let her know that she'd coloured in the commissioned Sonichu artwork she'd received. The next day, she emailed Doopy her thoughts on a recent Planet Dolan video, using her actual name instead of her online alias. Chris added that she thought Doopy was funny cute. She went on, speaking to Doopy as though they were close friends. "Also, do you really identify as a magician? I like magic. I believe in the alternate dimensions where each set or all of our animated characters reside and live their lives, and continue growing long after the series is finished. Or stay kids, whatever. I know after creating enough of the seed details between my Sonichus and Rosechus, as well as the city of Quickville, they and all of the citizens made the city and community grow. So there is definitely a lot of good stories and history for my series. I also believe in psychic powers, have been developing some for myself with binaural beats. I am literally bending paper with my mind waves, and I can only get better with daily practice. I would use my powers for good, including the possibility of levitating myself to fly. Anyhow, I felt like sharing and complimenting you a bit, but please keep this email strictly confidential. I trust you, Danielle." On August 1st, Chris became a patron for Doopy's alternate account, Kitten Bell, where she posted nude illustrations. She made a suggestion for future artwork. "I enjoy your drawing style despite the content. I have an idea for the next one or future one for your Kitten Bell. Vinyl Scratch and Octavia, humans, being on each other. Maybe they're both sitting up, making out and fondling, fingering. Put on a jamming boombox playing some dubber cello mix." That same day, Chris tweeted in celebration of National Girlfriend Day, tagging Doopy Doover and other voice actresses, mostly from My Little Pony. For the first time, Doopy pushed back against Chris's overwhelming affection. "You don't know me, Christine." Chris responded immediately. "Yes, I don't totally know you, but you are a good person, like all I've listed here. You all are girls and at least acquaintances up to friends. And that to me counts as much, because I am thankful to have you all in my life and communication circle." Doopy agreed that it was good to care about others, but warned Chris that if she wore her heart on her sleeve, she was setting herself up for disappointment. Chris reassured her that she was cautious with her love. Doopy wasn't convinced. You've made this mistake many times in the past, Christine. It's unhealthy and worrisome. You should just focus on yourself. Chris insisted that she did usually focus on herself, but needed to share her kindness on occasion in order to make friends. Doopy had heard enough. In that case, I don't like all the emojis and pet names, and I don't agree with you pledging to me when Barb is sick and needs money. I also don't appreciate personal emails on my business account. I'm sure you're a nice person, but it comes off as extremely creepy. It makes me very uncomfortable and is also causing a lot of stress and problems on my end. Like I said before, you've been nothing but kind to me and I appreciate that. I'll refund you your pledges if you want. Barb deserves it. Later that day, Chris sent Doopy another email. Please keep the $50. I want to help you a little better. Plus, I did want to get a shirt. I did not realize that was a business part, and I did not intend to come off as creepy. Believe me, I know that feeling from a crazy fan and what else. Plus, I had learned years ago about what from me came off as creepy, and I tried to avoid those things. Anyhow, I'm guessing this email is not your business email, but if it is, please correct me. I like talking to you from time to time, but not in anything beyond simple acquaintances to friendship. I am still learning what is okay and what is not okay to do, and taking notes for future and present references. Keep a happy thought, darling. Doopy reiterated. This is my business email. While I appreciate your kindness towards me, it's causing a lot of problems on my end. I would like to refund you, and you can use the money to buy a shirt from my Spreadshirt if you'd like. Other than that, I can't accept your pledges anymore, and I would appreciate it if you didn't publicly tweet at me, for your sake and mine. I am very sorry, this is just too much for me to handle right now. Chris blamed the trolls for causing trouble in her relationship with Doopy Doover.
I will not have my friends and allies be disturbed so abruptly every time. So, don't harass this person. Don't harass that person. You wanna talk smack about me? You talk directly to me. Do you understand? And don't ever let me catch you talking about me to anyone else on anyone else's timelines, comment sections, Twitter, or wherever. That's outside of your own goddamn forum, you trolls. Don't ever let me catch you bad-mouthing me to anyone, harassing them at my expense. Do you understand me? You better damn well understand me.
Soon after, Doopy blocked Chris on all social media accounts. On August 3rd, the My Little Pony voice actor Tabitha St-Germain, who was tagged in the original National Girlfriend's Day tweet, asked Chris to be untagged so that she would no longer receive notifications each time users left a reply. Chris simply responded, "I will, darling." A number of Twitter users replied, pointing out Chris's creepy behavior and her continued use of pet names such as darling. Chris insulted each of them individually. Tabitha soon blocked Chris on Twitter as well. On August 4th, Chris told her Patreon followers that there would be delays in the production of Sonichu 12. My most sincere apologies, everyone, but with the recent stresses of some people harassing people I liked, not harassing them, just a few thoughtful tweets now and then, towards a genuine friendship, I was never expecting sex, you uncouth twats who ruin nearly everything. Again, you got something to say against me, you tell it only to me, and nobody else, outside of your private forums. Definitely nowhere else on Twitter, other than directly to me, Miss Christine Weston Chandler. I am she. And I like men, as I like heavy metal music. I do not like heavy metal music. Hardly a real beat or tune, and the lyrics are incoherent. One of her patrons commented, suggesting that Chris had a pattern of violating the space of women, and that she needed to accept that her current situation was not caused by trolls, but by her own actions. Chris replied that she had learned from past mistakes, that she did not violate anyone's space, and that Doopy was recovering from harassment by trolls and bullies. On August 5th, a Twitter user replied to Chris, stating that Doopy was not her friend. Christine responded, "Doopy and I are not close yet, but that does not mean she is not my friend. Not your friend were not her exact words, troll." Doopy Do-Over chimed in one last time. "I can't believe I had to unblock you to tell you this. I'm not your friend. I'm not ever interested in being your friend. Leave me alone. You were specifically a customer to me, and you took it too far. You creeped me out. Now please, don't talk to or about me ever again."
I think we are ready to start. You're Brody?
No, I'm a Pegasus sister.
Oh, right, because you're
Female soul.
What do you think about the fame and popularity?
I'm kind of like somewhere in the middle about it, because it's nice. A lot of people know about me and my characters, but then also a lot of people have been giving me bullying and grief, and it's hard. It's just it's so long a list, including theoretical experts who turned out not to be who they were, and that's brought me down emotionally and mentally.
Now, can we get an update on your...
Yeah, that was impulsive, and some of that was brought on by, that's girlfriend of mine of recent. Anyway, I'm still transitioning. Just leave it at that.
So you believe that the bloody hole in your taint is...
Please, no comment. Everything's healed up, it's all good, I'm still alive. Let's just lay that to rest.
Is there anything else you want to say before...
Say, be good, be kind, stop bullying, stop hating. Love is better than hate. If you don't have anything nice to say, mostly keep it to yourself or amongst yourselves. Learn some general kindness and
honesty and humility. Don't hate, no conversation.